Hi guys, this is Shannon from Reptile Way and welcome back to our channel. It's so good to have you here for another exciting build video. And this particular build that you can see here, I don't know if you see the resemblance as to what the inspiration behind this build is, but it is inspired by Helm's Deep of Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings is probably a really wonderful source to utilize for ancient city, ruin builds. So I drew a lot of inspiration from clips in the movie as to what Helm's Deep looks like and how they depict it, because it's just done so beautifully. I have slightly changed it, simplified the design as well. And we don't have the wall here that does get blown up in the movie, and we don't have the big sort of slope as to how people enter through the gate. And I've got to make this practical for the enclosure and the animal itself. So that's why I decided to alter those bits, but I think it does look quite wonderful and can give an animal a lot of enrichment in their enclosure. Now, this can be a little bit daunting when you're looking at it because it probably does look quite complicated and you may be thinking, oh, I can never do a build like that. You're just following the same basic principles. So planning, looking at clips in the movie as to what it looks like, you're carving out the foam, you're spray foaming, carving that spray foam, then you're grouting, and we've done a new technique where we can imprint bricks onto sort of a wet, thick layer of grout, and you can do more detailing and then painting and then waterproofing. So that's really the entire process. It's not too different from builds that we've done in the past. However, this one is quite an exciting build just because of how it looks, and it really does take up the entire enclosure. But without further ado, let's dive into this build and show you how we made our own reptile version of Helm's Deep. Now, at the start of this particular build, you will notice I haven't filmed the entire carving out of the polystyrene of that white foam, and that was because I was literally watching Lord of the Rings, got up to the Helm's Deep bit and I was like, why don't I actually build this? So as I was watching the movie, I just started carving, building, and yeah, I thought it could actually look quite good at the end, and that's when I started filming the rest of the process. But with me, I did try to keep this build quite cheap, so I didn't actually have any foam that was rounded. So if you can buy rounded foam to get this center bit just to make it easier, definitely go ahead and do that. I was just using block foam that I found in front of a charity shop where people were just piling rubbish. So I took some of that to use for building materials. And yeah, I had to use plates to carve out circles and to really carve it into that circular shape, which was a little bit more tricky. Now the snake I do have on this display at the moment is Noodle. Noodle is not actually going to have this in its enclosure. The snake that we are putting this piece in is named Slinky. Now the only reason why I do not have Slinky out on the table is even though Slinky is a children's python, it is by far the most aggressive snake I have, and unfortunately just tries to bite at every moment and is not scared as well. So if I put Noodle and had this particular build in Noodle's enclosure, because it's all been hollowed out and there's a whole cave system going through, you would not see Noodle. Whereas I think if I put Slinky in, who really likes to observe, who goes into the reptile room, is always watching, Slinky will actually be displayed on Helm's Deep. So I also picked a particular animal with a particular personality to enjoy this build. So thank you so much guys for watching this build video. I really do hope you did enjoy this build and it gave you some inspiration, some ideas, some new techniques as to how you can go about a build for your scaly pet. But we'll see you in the next build video. Bye guys.
Mach